Folks, this is really bad news for the MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives who already have a slim majority. Their slim majority is all of a sudden slipping away, right? It was 217 to 215 based on the people Donald Trump appointed to his cabinet. And now a MAGA Republican representative, Victoria Spartz, she announced that she will refuse committee assignments. She will not caucus with Republicans. She will not attend meetings. She says she will remain a Republican, but is really not going to be supportive of their efforts. She just made the following announcement. She is a Republican congresswoman from Indiana. She's actually from Ukraine. She initially supported aid to Ukraine and then turned against it. And she's also made a number of very outlandish statements in the House of Representatives before, but now she's not even caucusing with the Republicans anymore. Though she'll stay a Republican. Here's what she's saying. I will stay as a registered Republican, but will not sit on committees or participate in the caucus until I see that Republican leadership in Congress is governing. By the way, an attack right there on MAGA Mike Johnson. I do not need to be involved in circuses. I would rather spend more of my time helping Doge and at Representative Thomas Massie save our republic, American flag, as was mandated by the American people. Jake Sherman, who covers the House of Representatives for a living, said, I'm really confused what she means, but that's what she's saying. Benji Sarlin goes, Mike Johnson with a 1-vote margin and Victoria Spartz in the House. It's just a sublime comedic setup. What is MAGA Mike Johnson going to do right now? Because it seems that the Republicans are this close now from losing their majority in the House of Representatives. And how are they going to get anything passed? And is there going to be another government shutdown happening soon? Can they even pass disaster relief at this point? Doesn't seem like they can even pass disaster relief. Here was MAGA Mike Johnson recently where he said that he was telling Donald Trump, can you stop appointing Republicans to the cabinet from the House of Representatives because we're losing our majority now. Play this clip.
But I've told President Trump, enough already. You got to give me some relief. I got to maintain this majority.
Now, as MAGA Mike Johnson was focused on banning transgender people from using bathrooms or banning the transgender congresswoman from Delaware from using the women's bathroom, that was a big focus on what the MAGA Republicans have been doing thus far. Democrats were flipping very close races in California. There were 3 races that looked like Republicans were going to win, but Dems flipped those red seats blue with new members of Congress in the Inland Empire, in Orange County, and in Los Angeles County. Democrats picking up 3 seats there. So that already brought the Republicans' lead based on Trump's cabinet picks to 217 to 215. And now Victoria Spartz is saying she ain't even going to caucus with them. Now, this reminds me why Hakeem Jeffries was very prescient when he was out there and he said recently, look, this Republican House majority, they're not going to be able to do anything without us. Here, play this clip.
On the Doge proposal here, should Democrats be more involved in this? Are you disappointed that Mr. Musk and Ramaswamy didn't come to meet with you? Do you think that the opportunities here, that their political appetite is bigger than their parliamentary stomach when it comes to getting some of these things done?
Yeah, it's unclear to me what exactly the objective is related to this so-called Doge initiative. From our perspective, we want a federal government that is effective and efficient and equitable. And to the extent the other side of the aisle shares that objective, which is what is right for the American people, then we'll see if there's common ground that's possible.
But does it worry you about the idea that they're doing this just with these 2 guys who aren't part of the government, who don't have experience directly in understanding discretionary, non-discretionary spending, and therefore should Democrats be directly involved and say, look, we don't want wasteful fraud and abuse, but...
Democrats will, of course, have to be directly involved to the extent that there is any legislative aspect of this, and we will, by necessity, be engaged because it's clear that the incoming House Republican majority will not be able to do much without us.
Well, and that's for sure. And, these MAGA Republicans who have continued to threaten government shutdowns, who have refused to pass budgets. I mean, the most basic duty of Congress, pass a budget. Instead, they've been doing these continuing resolutions. Then 24 hours before a shutdown, they pass an emergency continuing resolution. Sometimes I wonder why Democrats are even bailing them out. Maybe that's just the petty side of me, but I wonder it sometimes when the MAGA Republicans would kill bipartisan bills like the immigration bill that would have benefited everybody in the United States of America, when you have MAGA Republicans who clearly can't govern. I guess why even give them an assist sometimes is, how I think about the issue, but perhaps that's just the petty side of me. Now, here is MAGA Mike Johnson. This is why. MAGA Mike Johnson, during the election, what was he saying? No Obamacare, no Affordable Care Act. That's their agenda. It's a dangerous agenda. Remember when MAGA Mike Johnson said the following? Play this clip.
There's a lot of talk. Healthcare reform is going to be a big part of the agenda. When I say we're going to have a very aggressive first 100 days agenda, we got a lot of things still on the table. But healthcare, it's the secret. It's the secret. Healthcare reform is not a secret. There's some really important ideas on the table. And we have a docs caucus, the physicians who serve in the House, and they've got a menu of options about this thick. And I think this is part of it, because if you take government bureaucrats out of the healthcare equation and you have doctor-patient relationship, it's better for everybody, more efficient, more effective. That's the free market. Trump's going to be for the free market. You heard a little sample of that last night. We want to take a blowtorch to the regulatory state. Okay, yeah. These agencies have been weaponized against the people, and it's crushing the free market. It's like a boot on the neck of job creators and entrepreneurs and risk takers. And so healthcare is one of the sectors, but we need this across the board. And Trump's going to go big. He's only going to have one more term, right? Can't run for re-election, and so he's going to be thinking about legacy, and we're going to fix these things. And,
no Obamacare.
No Obamacare. Yeah, the ACA is so deeply ingrained. We need massive reform to make this work, and we got a lot of ideas on how to do that.
So going back to Victoria Spartz, who's saying that she'll stay a Republican in name only, but she's not caucusing with them, not sitting on committees, and not helping them out in any way. Here's Victoria Spartz, and as Aaron Rupert said, when he posted this during a committee hearing back on March 12th, 2024, he said, "I'm too sober to try to transcribe Victoria Spartz right now." So here's a raw clip of part of what she said, and it's unclear what she's even talking about. Play this clip.
Before I yield, I just wanted to actually just comment on something, Mr. Raskin mentioned about, us not remembering communists. I actually grew up under communists, and I have a very good recollection what it is. And unfortunately, Terrence on the rise, on the march, which he said, unfortunately, they've been emboldened by, President Obama, now by President Biden too. And unfortunately, our government and Department of Justice is really now resembles, a tyrannical government. It's sad for me to see that, but I'm going, and with a really double standard what we have there, but I'm going to yield to Chairman Jordan the rest of my time.
Thank the gentlelady for yielding.
More on Victoria Spartz. Again, she's from Ukraine, but believe that there shouldn't be aid to Ukraine after supporting aid to Ukraine. Here she is back, and just so you have an understanding of what what the Republican agenda is. July 27, 2024, here's Victoria Spartz to Maria Bartiromo saying that Congress should shut down America's economy. Remember, it was Democrats who bailed them out because shutting down the economy would mean recession or depression. That will be under Donald Trump's watch in January, but here's what she wanted, and I assume this is what she's going to want to do again. Play this clip.
Instill some of the remaining Mexico policies. We need to get them back, to put pressure to control that border. So I just don't see anything else left there, because no one wants to shut down the economy. Unfortunately, we should really for such a serious issue, but Republicans are not going to do it, and we are not just going to let Democrats have messaging bill with lots of loopholes. There are way more loopholes in that bill than people even realize.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Just so you have more insight, I'll play one more clip because you're like, Ben, can you stop playing these Victoria Spartz clips? I just need to show you who this individual is. Here she is saying, do not refer to January 6thers as insurrectionists. Refer to them as good Americans. Here, play this clip.
I know there is a lot of discussions about, January 6th, and I've been in the chamber January 6th, and I'll tell you something, we call this insurrection. I'll have to tell you, if the people that show up there wanted to do it, they would have succeeded, but they didn't show up for that reason. It was people that were upset because the quality of people came there. They were mad because we are not governing for the people. And that's unfortunately what was very strange to me, that Speaker Pelosi didn't have a security. Speaker Pelosi insisted for us to stay in the chamber, but I personally demanded to leave that chamber. So a lot of things, the other side dropped the ball. And it was very unfortunate for me to see that. So I think this is beyond the subject of this matter, but we need to stop, accusing people that disagree with the government that have been very corrupt and oppressive, to actually come here and, express peacefully their dissatisfaction. And there are always some bad players, and who knows who they are. But we don't call all people insurrectionists. This is just un-American to do it. And I'm sick and tired of the other side constantly doing it, because I knew a lot of people that were there in the crowd, and they're good Americans, patriotic, that love this country.
So that's the individual now who says she's out. She'll call herself a Republican, but ain't working with them. Ain't gonna help them. So what does MAGA Mike have? Does he even have a majority at this point? Can they even pass any legislation at all without Democrats? I don't think they can literally do anything. This is some devastating news to be handed right now when they're trying to enact their Project 2025 agenda. We'll see. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.